Everybody, welcome to yet another Premiership official. We've got week 5 for you in ETF2L. This is SVIFT versus Virtus.bro. I'm here with Lucky on the microphone, and Rahmed has snuck his way into the office and grabbed all the cameras he could find. He's going to be producing for us tonight. How are you doing, Lucky?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing excellent.
That's fantastic. So tonight, SVIFT versus Virtus.bro. The matchup that we think is probably going to be a little bit one-sided. Let's be insanely honest here before we get anything going tonight. SVIFT have been looking a little bit unstoppable, and Virtus.bro have been beating a bunch of teams who we didn't think they'd actually beat, though. In all fairness, they've been sort of like up and coming in Prem. When they entered the season, everyone was a little bit like, are these guys gonna have what it takes to make it? But apparently, yes, they do. So I'm predicting a decent seed by the end of the season for this team. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head on pretty much every point there. We've got a new team who no one was expecting to get above, 7th. They've definitely outperformed their seed. They are doing a lot better than we expected throughout the season, but someone else who's doing a lot better than expected is this officials only team of pure, just golden names in the TF2 scene. All of these top Premiership and invite players even returning onto this one roster and just making an absolute powerhouse so far this season.
Yeah, pretty unstoppable on their team. But on the other side of that action, Virtus.bro, I'm just going to run down their roster because I'm a big fan of Virtus.bro, if you didn't know this already. I think some of these players are going to be getting up there, top Prem, within the next couple seasons. Just you watch, buddy. We've got Mist and Lanza on the Scouts, Tobbs and DQZ on the Soldiers, Kuna on Demo, and Cars on Medic. Cars is, my god, watching him is pure pleasure. He just lives against everything in the middle of the action and just survives all of the damage. And Mist, the unstoppable Pocket Scout, the two standout players in this team, in my opinion.
Yeah, Cars was incredible to watch in last week's official. He was getting away with a lot of stuff he shouldn't, and that is really what he's great at. I do enjoy a bit of Cars myself as well.
I do think.
On the other side, don't know who will be playing tonight, actually, if they haven't got their medic in yet, and they've seemed to be mixing it around a bit, but it should be Slemnish and Jay Humpay on the Scouts, Nubby and Captain on the Soldiers, Nasboy Demo Man, and Seeds Medic.
Yeah, Seeds Medic, I think that's a bit like, that's the nail in the coffin level that you're looking for in this team, isn't it? You've got Captain, potentially the best soldier in Europe. I think he is actually the best soldier in Europe. Potentially world. Seeds, probably best medic, world also. And then you've got these two powerhouse American hit scan scouts that don't seem to miss and play this very controlled style with Seeds, and they understand how they're going to do it. And Nasboy, whew, this boy has been stepping up for what seems like a long time. He's come directly to the top of Prem, and he's just sort of been like smashing his way through teams left, right, and center. And no one really saw it coming for a small period of time, but he eventually made it in, and now he's just destroying, especially on a good roster like this. And of course, we've got to talk about Nubby as well. This man gets away with too much. Has to be said.
Yeah, Nasboy has been a name in the scene for God knows how long. I mean, he was pretty much incredible since starting off in the Fresh Meat Cups. He was pretty much a known name immediately after that, and it was pretty much just a matter of time before he made it into Premiership. He was always in the top pick of pugs. Everyone was expecting him to make it up to Prem eventually, and recently he has been proving exactly what he's worth in Premiership and just has been destroying people left and right, as you say, as well. We've got Captain, best soldier world, as you say. Got Nubby, Prem debut of last season, and clutch roamer of the season as well, I believe. Just from how incredible his performance was last time round. So hopefully he won't be slowing down this season.
Well, I mean, we've seen a bunch of roamers sort of like have their Prem debut, but none have been as like shocking as his has. I think if you look player for player, actually, in this game, I don't see a player on the... Sadly, this isn't saying they're bad, by the way, Virtus.bro. I think they're a great team, and I love them to bits. But genuinely, player for player, on these teams, you can say that every single SVIFT player is stronger than the players on Virtus.bro. And that gives them an insane disadvantage.
Yeah, you can confidently say that. And yeah, I mean, the disparity between every player, if you put them 1-to-1, is pretty massive. If you had to pick an MVP who lives most up to their counterpart on Swift, who would you say is the one to watch on Virtus.bro?
I think the one to watch on Virtus.bro is going to be Mist. Mist always pounds. Whenever I'm watching Mist play, it's just a joy. His aim is so precise and he gets so many frags. He usually top DPMs most games. And yeah, Kuna sort of takes the back seat on the old damage dealing. He plays a little bit like Cadus, where he just sort of like bombs in and gets all the space for his team and does all that jazz. And he's a little bit trying to be flashy. Whereas Mist is that slow, controlled style, plays with cars, understands his role in the team, and just sort of makes it happen. So I think Mist would be my MVP. What about you?
Ooh, well, purely to pick someone different, DQZ has been exciting to watch.
Oh, true.
He's
yeah, actually,
made a lot of clutch plays towards the start of the season that have let his team get away with God knows what that they couldn't have got away with without him. So he's another one to keep an eye on. But as we've been saying, pretty much everyone on Swift is a star to keep your eye on. They can all just make incredible things happen.
Yeah, I think it's their ability, though, to mainly just be very controlled, very precise, understand their individual roles in the team, as well as their overall team themselves. Just a very, very coordinated team who seem to understand the state of play. And so, for example, if Jay dies, then Slemnish will slide in and suddenly become Pocket Scout, and then they'll just continue the push, and they won't like stop for even a second. And they just sort of have that connection with each other, that they understand what each player is doing. But anyway, first map, Snakewater. Any predictions?
I mean, my prediction is 5-0 to Swift. I always love to, maybe bet on the underdog a little bit, hype it up as being a bit more close than it could be, maybe. But I don't see Virtus.bro getting much done against just this caliber of team. They are definitely better than we've expected so far this season. Maybe a tier above where everyone set them, but I don't think they can make this leap and win tonight for sure. What about you? Are you being a bit more confident in them?
Just to be controversial, I'm going to go for totally the opposite score, because my record keeping for actually getting predicted scorelines is absolutely atrocious, but I'm going to say 6-1 to Swift, so I think Virtus.bro are going to get one round.
Oh, completely opposite.
Complete opposite to the 0 rounds that you thought they were going to. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have gone live, and we are now heading into our first mid. This is season 36, ladies and gentlemen, week 4 between Virtus.bro and Swift. And Kuna and Naspo just going to be trading out here at the start of the mid. Slemnish taking that high ground for his team. We've got counter scouts on the other side. Lanza is going to be hiding on that hut. And Seeds is actually just going to be playing super passive. Does drop down, so they're going to be looking to potentially get aggressive here, but neither team seems to want to budge. Both teams just playing super passive. Seeds drops the question mark. We do see soldiers eventually go forwards. Nubby's going behind in kitchen. Kuna is actually lower. Nubby's managed to sneak his way in behind, and now this is going to be the opportunity that comes out here. DQZ bombs forward, and both soldiers are both weak. Captain goes into the bomb, capitalizes. Top goes down. Cars is going to get caught out here potentially as he escapes through lower, but tons of frags going the way of Swift. They try and get some seats. In fact, DQZ does in fact find him, but in the backlines, Nubby finds Cars. So both medics going out for both teams missed the lone survivor.
Yeah, and Nubby will be the one stopping him from escaping. Mist is just having to go forward and take this 1v1 on second now. That's a very, very late respawn for him. It's going to be 5v6 on the last fight, most likely. No time to get an engineer up or anything useful on this defense. Usually you'd want a heavy engineer, maybe even a sniper in the spawn door to slow this down. Mist probably doesn't have time for much of that, but we are even Ubers, so things slow down anyway. I didn't actually notice that the Seeds has gone down. My mistake, my bad. Yeah,
DQZ managed to land on top of him on the mid. It was pretty PogChamp. Like you said, DQZ, one of the players to watch on this team. He seems to get in and find these opportunities that are required, but we have got the engineers setting up on last. And of course, I think Swift are going to be the kind of team that they want to pressure that sentry gun at level 1, and they do, and they manage to take it down as they start busting in through the right-hand side here on the defense, and they are just taking so much ground here. Captain actually taking a high ground. They've stuffed him into a corner. They're playing point. They don't care about this. Uber is pumped from the red side really early. Seeds doesn't even have Uber yet. And they're just going to be retreating all the way back. Seed's still alive here. Does get pumped with the demo, but they pop out the super. Slam is going to be W king forwards into cars. Let's find him. It's going to be an easy frag for him. Missed. The one player trying to defend, but he can't quite make it. And that's going to be 1-0 already for the side of SVIFT.
That is the kind of no respect we expected to see from Swift in this. They know how far above they are. They just want to dry push into last immediately. Captain gets in, take all the space. They immediately get that sentry gun, and from there, I mean, it was pretty much just 6 players on the left versus 6 players on the right. They can just tickle that point all day long. Nubby actually very fast mid, so is DQZ, both going towards each other's kitchens, but DQZ, the only one to get there successfully. Coming up from lower now, will get fought by Nubby and Slamnish. Tobbs in with a bomb onto Seeds, will not be successful either. Although, eventually Lanza will pick up Seeds there. Now it's just Cars and Mist. Mist trying to escort the VIP out to last.
Yeah, like I said, Mist really understands his role. He sees Cars in an unfavourable position and will just get him the hell out of there, and that'll be that. And now they'll have full Uber advantage, but they'll be stuck on last, so they need to formulate some kind of plan to get this escape going. But what you're thinking?
Well, they've got all their spawners right away. They first of all need to make sure Slemnish doesn't get a cheeky 2-shot from in this corner. Top's taking a hell of a lot of damage. Nubby also blocking this exit. Cars does come out now. Slemnish still hiding in the corner, gets the first shot. Will force the medic, not what he wanted maybe, but he's already running to last. No one in their team is even going back for it, but they haven't capped second. So it doesn't matter at all. Kuna putting some stickies in the rock down here, getting chased out. There's a little bit of a dry push coming in from Swift. They don't actually have the Uber yet, so this could be punished by Virtus.bro, and it will be as Lanza on the wrap, DQZ on the bomb.
What a gamer just slams directly into Seeds and takes all of the space for his team. Cars is now just going to be sitting pretty on bats right now. They have got this medic advantage now, so they're just going to be taking this fight nice and slow, just chipping away at them. As we see the bomb comes in from Nubby. Cars with the jukes though totally dodges that rocket as DQZ goes in for the counter jump and is going to land on top of Nubby and does find the frag. That's 4 down for the side of SVIFT. So they're going to be able to reclaim this mid, it looks like.
Yeah, a bit too cocky maybe from Swift there. I mean, trying to dry push 4v6 into a team, even if you consider them worse than you, really not a great idea. They end up getting wiped there, and Cars lands himself a neat little 40 to 50% Uber advantage. So they're going to be moving this forward straight away while they still have the ad.
Yeah, you can take what you get when you're playing against Seeds, you know, like, you gotta be just playing these ads to the point, because this man, he built super fast. He built better than any medic I've ever seen in my whole life. But we are seeing Det on the point there, Mist getting taken out. No real cap time coming out as they start to spread out on the side of SVIFT. They go for DQZ on the flank, and that's going to be a 2-man advantage to them. And they're in behind Cars as well. Cars goes forwards for the Uber trade and immediately starts to back off. Heads towards Kuna, keeps Lanza alive with the flash. They're going to be heading back below, but they are going to get pincer maneuver right now by the flank coming in. But Cars and Lanza, they are going to escape all the way to mid. Cars is just running now in towards Kitchen, and he is going to live actually.
Everyone towards Saw just getting rolled over, and just that completely buckles Virtus.bro's push. They ended up getting wrapped by Nubby and I believe Captain at the same time. Just got completely wiped on the end of that Uber trade, apart from Cars escaping, which is critical, but they need to be a bit further forwards here. They're giving up second completely for free. So they did not want to fight that with their respawn wave. They're just going to give that up and play the even Ubers on last.
Yeah, they're just going to sit back, chill out, watch the sunrise and set, and do absolutely nothing. But we might see exactly the same strategy come in. But I think they've countered this time. DQZ and Top's going to be spamming from top right, just to see if they can deny that aggression that's going to come on the right-hand side, which eventually they're going to try and do, because they're in the position where they need to make something happen, I guess. Or they can just hold outside like they're doing now for 20 minutes, try and trade points. But Nubby going down there, Lanza does find a headshot. Kuna finds the Bible to Captain. And they're going to retreat already.
Yeah, Nubby tried to do a nice little speed shot, got completely body blocked by DQZ and then just sniped down. They're trying to push someone out for a resack, but the trade comes in fact, and Tobbs gets dropped from it, so just Mist and Kuna in this Uber for Virtus.bro. Even that's probably more than they should have in this Uber, and they're just getting mulched in lobby. Too many flashes, too little time. They're getting rolled over, and it's a 2v6 on the last point. Lanza and DQZ needs to save this, but the point's already getting played. They're nowhere near.
Yeah, it's going to be 2-0 to the side of SVIFT. A pretty good Uber trade there that they took in lobby. Unfortunately there that Tops got dropped on the Uber trade, but sometimes it just happens, and you just got to deal with it. But I feel like they could have escaped a little bit earlier, but Virtus.bro were very keen on staying in on the trade just so that they can try and get something out of it rather than absolutely nothing. But it does show that, you know, in an even fight, that SVIFT are going to win it day on day, and DQZ once again going to be rolling out fast towards kitchen, picking up that small health bottle and going in towards low immediately. C's going to be rolling out on the catwalk area as well. Needs to make something happen here with it, but Nubby also in behind, going to be on Saw, and it's going to get called now that Cars is just sitting on grass. DQZ going to be playing towards that kitchen area. Kuna getting low. Lanza now taking a 1v1 with Nubby inside of Saw, but Nubby just retreats to lower. So we're just watching the battle on the flank right now as DQZ actually did get picked up there. There's so much damage on the side of Virtus.bro. The bomb comes in from Captain, lands on two. A beast rocket into the scout's face to land on the demo as well to take him down. Lanza now going to be the lone survivor in towards Seed, but Seed is unstoppable and unkillable.
Yeah, we just watched the battle of the flanks on two parts. Obviously, Nubby flanking Virtus.bro, and he won his fight. And then on the other hand, DQZ was flanking SVIFT, and he lost his fight. So both fights just pretty much being taken simultaneously and independently of each other. Both go the way of SVIFT on that mid, and then obviously Captain with that divine bomb just instantly kills Cars on that mid and does so much damage to everyone who are all stood in the same place. Now we have the full Uber advantage. We'll see what they'll do with this.
Yeah, looks like they are going to be popping in through the left-hand side there with Jay taking the lead on this Uber charge. A little bit far forwards here as Naspo now spots on the sentry gun, just double sticks it to take it down, and with the assistance of Captain, they are now sticking out the point, looking like they want to play it. But they're in fact now just going for frags, so Tom gets pucked in the air, but they're losing players all over the place here. And Nubby in with the salvage, but Cars with the serve. Easy escape for him. He does it on a daily, man.
Yeah, DQZ in fact the only one to go down. The entire Uber used to destroy a level 1 sentry. Not ideal. And now Virtus.bro get free push out. They also have 100% Uber advantage. They should be able to get a few points off this. They're going to want to try and get into mid without having to force it off. See how far they can get before they have to use this Uber. There's just one soldier on top, he's been forced back, that's Nubby. Captain watching from the other side, they actually elect to go through kitchen. Slem is the first to fall, Car's taking a lot of spam and Nubby's on top of him. They have to use here. Good force from Nubby, they're going to cap up mid and chase at the same time, see what they can get with it. Nasboy going down is exactly what they wanted in fact. No demo, they can keep on moving. They nearly take down Captain as well, he goes down to 9 health. Who pushes with 9 health, Lucky?
Who does indeed, but Slemish hiding in the force one does backspawn. And that could have been a bit of a threat there if it had come out, but Season's actually picking up his Uber charge now. 100% Uber for him, Cars at 40%. They're going to be know that they need to play passive here, just cut out this aggression if they come for the push. As the Uber gets popped out immediately by Seeds, he doesn't want to risk anything here, doesn't want to drop any Ubers. Now Spoiler just bombing in super deep, but Cars is already gone. They called the Uber super early and they were just out. Slem just getting killed by Lanza as well. Got Tops going in the backline though, a little very disconnected from his team, just feeds his life away. It's going to be a few frags getting picked up here as Nas actually gets caught, and that could be a pretty big frag on the late respawner, but Jay's just going to be running in, 2-shot in Kuna, and this fight is a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, they are now fighting on the point. Only Mist and Cars in the fight. DQZ's been forced to retreat, so Mist and Cars will have to get out there too. The Uber didn't seem too successful from SVIFT. They had to use very early inside the lobby. In fact, Nubby is getting repushed here. They're straight back in Virtus.bro. They want to have nothing to do with this. They already are into lobby with this advantage, but they're not getting what they need. They in fact drop Kuna in the meantime. They only get Jay and Captain in return, and now Seas has an Uber of his own ready to push in. DQZ's into him though! Oh! Just before Seas gets in time, DQZ manages to shut that down. Mist is cleaning up Nasboy as well. This is a 5v3 situation now.
Let's
go! Wanting this to last.
Oh, they're coming in. They're bombing on this water tower area. Captain's getting knocked off. Lancer's going for the point. They've got soldiers bombing in. Nubby's going for it, but the beam is now up Tom's butthole. But Cars is just going to escape, actually. He's just going to run the hell out of there with Mist in tow. They're going to build up this Uber ad and just play the ad instead. And they could get around here, but my prediction could be correct.
Yeah, they did the good play there to get out of last. They could have tried taking that 3v3 fight, but in the end of the day, it's just better safe than sorry. You can get your medic out here and do a 6v6 repush with full Uber advantage instead. That's what they're going to elect to do, to start to take lower now. Cars in with 2 scouts is taking a lot of spam. but that won't be any problem. Seeds on 50% at the moment. They're going to use on a scout and demo through the shutter here, using straight away. The sentry's not gone down. Kuna's bombed the other door. In fact, sentry finally goes down. Jay also has died on engineer, but all these respawners just coming out of the door.
Oh, looks like DQZ is actually going straight for the point here with both scouts, and they are going to cap that one out. It's going 2-1. They did it! Well, they
managed it. They managed it. I was not expecting that at all. I'm quite proud of them.
Oh my god. Yes! They got it. They got around. 2-1. Okay, I think Seeds is going to be pulling out the whip here and being like, alright boys, you know, put your gamer faces on. We might lose this one. As that was a pretty good round actually for Virtus.bro. They played it the way they needed to. Cars escaped when he needed to as well. And just played the Uber round very well. And ended up winning the round there. So coming to our next mid-fight bump.
Yeah, they had no gimmicks required. Just good old TF2 with double bomb in from DQZ, and Tobbs gets immediately shut down.
Oof.
Kuna trying to walk forwards across the point as well onto the 0 damage that his soldiers really did with that bomb. So it's a complete wipe from Virtus.bro. SVIFT already just turning this around. Miss does manage to troll Nasboy there on the health pack. Does manage to take him down at the last second. But yeah, that was all SVIFT from the very start. Just those bombs got denied so easily and so efficiently. And then Kuna caught out of position on the point with no help at all.
No, 100% Uber now for Seeds coming in towards this last point. They're just healing up these players on the point, waiting for Nasboy to get here from his respawner. Cars is just going to have 20% Uber, so he's barely going to get the super by the time that they come in. And Sentry Gun now going up for Lanza. It's only level 1 currently, and they're going to be looking to potentially construct into a level 2 one before the Uber comes in. But I doubt it's going to do too much against the Uber player. The new now do come in. Jay is going to be bombing in with Nas, and they're just going to clear that gun immediately. The dispenser also getting cleaned up there. Tobbs is going to get taken down here as well. The only player out of the spawn door currently is Cars did die as well in the shutter. Kuna is going to be the one that's going to get focused now, but they are just landing on absolutely everyone and just looking to play this point immediately. And that's going to be another round for the SVIFT. They pulled up their socks on this one, though.
Yeah, that was just textbook. They ended up with all 6 of their players on the same side of last, which is really, really useful in those full Uber advantages. You get all of your damage going into the same players. It means that you can trap them from even going into the respawn and rotating out the other side. Ends up in a 6v3 fight, and then from there you just move across the point. So perfectly played from SVIFT, showing us all how it's done as we're into the 5th mid.
Yes, I'm just going to be taking that high ground. These bombs once again coming in, but they're getting absolutely annihilated here as they try and bomb forwards. And DQZ and Tobbs both going down, and that's going to call the retreat here. Miss is the only one left in, and he's surely going to get clear. Oh, he finds Nubby though on the way out. That's a pretty decent frag to find. Going to hold a little bit more of that aggression. Nice air puck from Kuda there, using the lock and load so it doesn't really count. And he's going to be retreating out as they do manage to get all of the ground on second, but Cars managed to survive.
Yeah, basically hit scan doesn't even count as an air pipe. As they do get out to last, eventually. Looks like Nubby will be spawning on Sniper for this even Uber situation. He's going to be trying to get a pick onto Lanza, who is the other team sniper, Virtus.bro. Also trying to snipe out of last. Jay just shows his face for a little second there, trying to bait a shot out of Lanza. Nubby actually on Spy, I didn't notice, switched off the sniper at the end. Slemnish goes down to Lanza, but Nubby just chilling around lower, keeping his eyes on the combo of Cars and Kuna. Now, edging his way up these stairs, closer to his prey.
I think Cars he's pretty savvy. He's got his headphones switched on usually for these kinds of plays, but it's not uncommon for him to have been backstabbed in the past. I think everyone is a little bit susceptible to it, so whether they actually spy check it themselves is another question, but Lanza hasn't gone back. Oh, he's been spotted now.
Bumped him by accident, and DQZ spotted it out from across second. So they also have Slam on Sniper, who will now immediately kill Lanza. Probably wasn't expecting that just after the spy went down, so some space to take in lobby here. Slemnish taking a peek through the big door. Kuna's got his head right there, offering it up on a plate. Tobbs is trying to do this edge bug above the shutter door.
I think Epley would be mega proud of the dual monk. Have you heard about the theory of monkey class?
I haven't. I've heard many an Epley theory in the past though, and I'm not sure if I want to.
So the theory is that monkey class equals spy and sniper. Basically, the classes that are going to go get picks and are super fun. And usually if you have them for too long and they get nothing, they're still happy enough playing it, even though they're absolutely useless. And to dual monkey class is an absolute godsend.
Is there any particular strategy behind the monkey class?
Nope.
Or just hope for the best and play spy and sniper? I see.
Point and click adventure, that's it.
Slime once again taking a peek here. Kuna goes down incredibly low. Lanza not quite having his back, trying to snipe from above point now. Does peek and get Slemnish.
He's going to be opening up a banana right there as he found that frag, just to, you know, appreciate himself with that frag that he managed to find. And now they're going to walk into lobby. But because he's actually on sniper, it's going to limit the amount of space they can actually take. And, you know, blue team savvy to this, not going to peek a single thing. But Tobbs does find Nubby in lower. And now you've got a respawning player, so only 4 players actually on second now. But they're doing absolutely nothing with it because, like we said, monkey class.
Yeah. I mean, there definitely should have been something happen after Nubby went down there. In fact, Lanza walks a bit too deep into lobby and gets punished for it, so he's going to be on quite a long sniper respawn. Everyone on Swift still on their sixes, cookie cutter classes, as we call it. Jay, in fact, just running onto Kuna, sees an opportunity, drops him before Cars even pops. So this is not even a trade yet, as Cars does eventually have to use, went down very low to that rocket from Captain. Jay is just playing the point in the meantime.
No, that's not what you want at all. Jay just runs past the sentry gun directly to point and caps it out. That is so infuriating if you're on the side of Virtus.bro.
Oh, Kuna must not be happy that he got dropped there. If that was just a trade, completely different story, but in fact, Cars having to use as late as he did, and then all the focus having to be on the player shooting Cars rather than the player immediately capping the point. Nubby, by the way, fast rolling out with the Market Gardener, does not find anything, but Captain in afterwards onto the med pack behind lines. He's getting chased back by Lanza. He's so low. All of Virtus.bro walking across the point in the meantime. DQZ and Nasboy will be the first players to trade their lives. Nubby also getting taken down, so Captain still behind, still a threat, but Virtus.bro have won a midpoint.
Yeah, indeed, they're leaving Lanza to cap this one up on his own. Total confidence in that scout that he's going to be able to make the cap before Captain flanks him. So they're going to be moving forwards in towards second now. They're going to find this cap as well. With Nubby still being down, it could buy them a little bit of time here. But DQZ is going to be hunting for Captain in the backline on the respawn. And this could delay quite a lot of the aggression that they want to get. And, you know, they've got 3 rounds that they need to get in 10 minutes to draw and bring it to a golden cap. So it's going to be difficult. But, oh my god, Captain, please.
Yeah, I mean, DQZ got shot by Captain and was pretty much called him out. 2 scouts run back to deal with it, help him out, and still Captain manages to win against Lanza there. Nubby's having a little peek to see what he can get done, but elects not to in the end. Slem also on Sniper. They're giving him a lot of room in lobby here to sniff out any angles he could take. Captain, of course, also still on the back line. They're just making this as chaotic as possible for Virtus.bro.
I mean, that's what you got to do when you got a player behind you now. Oh my god, Lanza, no, not again. Not again, brother. You can't die again. Slamlish actually going down there. This is going to work out in the favour of Virtus.bro, because technically 2 down. Captain is so deep behind that 1 pick on Slamlish means that they're going to be able to take this left-hand side, and they are now actually going in there. And we've got DQZ bombing in on top of Seeds and gives up.
I mean, he gets the force though. Yeah, he forces Seeds and just goes AFK afterwards. I mean, you might as well. Now they need to be watching for Captain. This is when Captain will be as threatening.
Actually, I watched the replay. Seeds took a pipe to the back and just used Uber. They can't with the Uber currently. Yeah, Kuna's going to be sticking off this left-hand side of spawn though. Nubby going directly to the point to defend it. They do find Mist on the bomb. It's going to be Lance coming to the right-hand side shutter now, but they're all stuffed into lower here. Slam just going to be going across on that shutter as well. All the spam getting attracted towards lower. Tom's getting super low as well with Kuna, and they are directly on the beam right now. We've got DQZ bombing in. He does find Seeds, and that's going to produce so much through DQZ now with the play to get the second round. It's 4-2.
Yeah, everyone ending up on the low ground there from Virtus.bro. It seemed really terrible for them, but out of nowhere, DQZ bombing onto the point, just gets that 1 direct rocket into Seeds, who was already low, and, you know, changes the fight around. Getting a second point, something I completely did not expect. Like, this is a lot of a closer game than I gave it credit for, as we're into the 7th mid. Kuna and Nasboy just spamming each other across again.
Yeah, the They're both going to be just chilling out here, but sticking across just to try and stop some of this aggression coming out. But DQZ trying to go for a fakie, and Tops goes in nice and low in towards Seeds. Tons of damage on lower. This is going to give him so much room to go forwards because Seeds is just on top of that pack. And DQZ now bombing in towards Seeds as well, and he doesn't actually find it as Seeds nicely jumps over the rocket there. But Kaz is just going to be retreating back now with Mist. As per usual, they're going to be escaping out through Sword.
Seeds is always exactly where he needs to be, man. He survives anything you throw at him. 2 situations there where your average medic might not be able to get out alive, but Seeds just every time. The Uber actually straight out from Virtus.bro. They know that they have a tiny little advantage, but Seeds gets it in time. And now this trade could get punished as it gets juggled by Nasboy.
No.
But they all managed to slither out of lower.
What?
They're getting chased down, but it's not fast enough. They only get second. Tops falls. But that's an incredible escape for Cars after that juggle from Nasboy.
I was for sure thinking he was dead there, but he was absolute genius mode for Cars. Just leaps off the bridge knowing the aggression's going to be lobby into lower and just totally escapes everything. That's incredible. I've got to put my hands up on that one. That's insane. But now we've got
the shutter.
Yeah, even Ubers now.
Yeah, even Ubers. Jay on the sniper this time, giving Slemmer a chance to play a bit of main classing. Jay's actually going to peek this, has a line of sight onto Cars already. No one's really shutting him down. Tobbs eventually does spam that out of position.
Yeah, we're just going to have the toing and throwing here as Nas actually gets taken down there by a headshot from Lanza. That's going to be the pick that they need to make something happen here. No Demo Man is going to produce a lot of space because no stickies on doors, no spam coming through with the pipes, so it's going to produce so much for this team. But Lanza still up on the sniper, seeing if you can find the head of Seeds, but Seeds is always in a position where you are definitely not going to find him. Can you count on one hand? Well, you would be able to count on one hand how many times Seeds has actually been picked off by a sniper during the season.
Yeah. I mean, these players know too well than to peak snipers at this point, although saying that, I did just see Cars end up right in a corner of lobby where he really shouldn't have been stuck, but he did manage to get out alive, and Jay is about to peek the same angle again while there's a bomb.
Oh my god, DQZ annihilates Captain in the skybox. Jesus Christ.
Seeds gets forced in lower as well, but Cars drops everyone that used... I mean, Seeds got forced in lower, but Cars had to use pretty much straight after and didn't manage to, so he drops all his players and uses. That's the worst situation you can have, and Kuna staying way too close considering the rest of his team is either dead or passive. So Kuna gets picked off as well, and now Swift, no prisoners. They're just busting through this big door side. They're getting all the frags on the players on the low ground. It's a 5v3. Jay's already playing the point. There's stickies on it from Nasboy. That's just clinical.
Yeah, they understood what they needed to do. As soon as they found Kuna, they were like, well, no stickies on point, boys. Just go in, take the fight. There's not going to be any spam. So they just walk in, easy clap from them. They understood what they need to do. Very clear calls, and all the team was on the same page as well. So very well played from the side of SVIFT. And now it's 5-2. So it's looking pretty convincing for them now. 4 minutes left on the clock. And they've got to claw back 3 rounds on the side of Virtus.bro. And with the state of the game currently, I don't know if they're going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, Swift just still looking one class above. DQZ once again trying to go behind. Captain takes that as his time to go. Nasboy also running across the point while Jay takes the top side. Captain in with the rebomb.
Whoop.
He's all the way in behind. They just had to chase 3 people back for Captain. He had so much presence despite not being present on the mid. Just the mere threat of him behind made everyone leave on the side of Virtus.bro. Now they're getting into second straight away while Lanza and DQZ actually try and block this mid fight. They've gone 1-for-1 so far. It's just Lanza versus Nubby, but the point got capped from under his nose. So now the only fight that matters is on second, where the Ubers are being traded already. And it is definitely going the way of Swift as Cars gets chased down lower, and Mist gets 2 piped by Nasboy as well.
That was painful to watch. Cars just got meat shot into a corner, just got absolutely destroyed by Jay. That was insane. Anyway, they're going to be capping up the second point now. 4 players down on the side of Virtus.bro, so this is going to translate into a last push as Nubby just skip jumps through on towards Tops, finds the direct rocket to take it down, and they're going to be able to play this point here, and they're going to be able to cap this one up, and that's going to be 6-2. The side of SVIFT, 1 round away from winning, and some complaints on the enemy team about some lag.
yes. The 6-2 down,
It was lagging.
I'm lagging. An old classic, but yes, I think that is the nail in the coffin. 3 minutes left. We are in the realms of mathematical impossibility for Virtus.bro to come back into this one. So, we're watching some trash time mids. Let's see who can make their logs look the funniest. DQZ in behind once again, will find Captain. Tobbs, in fact, bombing from the other side, immediately shut down. Kuna as well. And this is pretty much going to be a wipe. Will Cars be able to run out to last? Take your bets in chat now. 1 yes, 2 no.
DQZ is, I bet you he's like top contender right now. Oh my god, is Jay on top of Cars? No, he's not. Cars is actually all the way on the pond. That's Monka S for a moment there.
Yeah, Cars made way too much distance in abandoning his team, but it's still a disad because he wasn't healing anyone, so Seed straight in, and Cars caught in the spawn door. All of that effort to get out alive means nothing now, as there is a 6v4 fight on the last. Jay's already on the last point.
Yeah, that was absolutely fallen sky onto that door there, and DQZ is going to be the last man standing on this team. That's what's going to be walking up to this cafe. DQZ doing 360s with the shovel. Doesn't land on Seeds. That would have been amazing if he landed that one. Anyway, that's going to be 7-2 to the side of SVIFT. Pretty much, I guess, the scoreline that was predicted. I said 6-1, you said 5-0, but it's 7-2. So, along the same line.
We got the mercy rule part of it. We got that. But, yeah, dominant as we expected from SVIFT. Just clinical in most senses. Virtus.bro only managing to win 1 or 2 mids that game. I think maybe even actually only 1. They did not win their rounds from gimmicks though. They genuinely outplayed SVIFT in a couple of situations. I'm particularly thinking of DQZ getting on top of Seeds with that tiny little sliver of Uber that Seeds did not have, and that just won them their first round.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just giving a quick scan of the logs just to see what you said about people having the funniest logs. And it sort of basically just shows how the game went. Just, you know, more frags on the side of SVIFT. Just more domination, it looks like. In terms of the mid-fights, they were mostly blue dominated. But that was mostly because of their ability to play passive. And just to catch Virtus.bro. Because Virtus.bro, they do like to be aggressive. They like to catch people off guard. And that's mainly where their aggression comes from. With Kuna, you know, just barreling forwards into the MT, not even turning around most of the time to do anything to any players that go behind. He's just constantly forwards. And they like that. They like playing like that. But Seeds is always going to be playing in the passive position, healing up those players as much as they can, and they are so good at collapsing on these mids, and that is, well, mainly why they won most of their mid fights.
Yeah, and logs don't tell you much, especially in Mercy Rule games, but Nasboy with 330 damage, the next closest on the server being in the 260s to 250s range. He was just pumping out a lot when he was walking forwards on mids, as you say, and Kuna, when he attempted it, it was not working out in his favour. He was getting very easily shut down on those mids, but we all know about the one-dimensional mid of Snakewater, where Demo Men can pretty much walk forwards or hang backwards. There's no sides to pick, which is completely different to this map that we're coming on to now, Metalworks. Relatively new in EU rotation. We had it in that funny season a while back where we had too many maps to fit in the season for some reason. That was a weird one.
That was an interesting one. But yeah, like you said, Metalworks an interesting one because it means that it's like almost even footing for a lot of teams. Obviously, it's just at the end of the day, because of how new it is, if you assume that both teams have scrimmed as much as each other and have the same map understanding as each other, that the team with the better players will win. So
yeah, let's just hope that neither of these teams have any players from North America who've played it 20 seasons in a row.
Let's not worry about that at all. Let's pretend that hasn't happened. Okay, let's just So Virtus.bro are gonna win. No, it's 50 gonna smash. I just wonder by how much, and if Virtus.bro are going to be able to pick any rounds. Because the rounds that they did get, though, were actually really good. And the way that they played was very controlled, and they understood the win condition of how they were playing. You know, they knew that if they get one pick in front of them and they leave captain behind, they have a 2-man ad and they'll be able to go forwards, and that was their win con. And they played those to the T, and they understood what they had to do. And I think that is what's going to separate Virtus.bro from a lot of other teams. But when it comes to SVIFT, overall, better deathmatching ability is going to win them a lot of things.
Yeah, I think, if anything, this will be more in their favor. Usually you'd think that the underdog teams have more of a chance on these kind of wildcard maps. It does bring everyone down to even footing more than anything, as you said. When no one's practiced it, there's a lot more room for the underdogs to take control. But I mean, these American players have played the map for ages, and obviously with the DM factor, when everything goes all chaotic and the players are just 1v1ing, taking battles on pure deathmatch alone, we've already been over how incredible all these Swift players are in that genre of the game.
I mean, if you put Captain in a 1v1 against any of the soldiers, I would say that he's going to win it. And the soldier who I put right next to him in that list of MG Lord soldiers, Nubby. Like, he's also one of these players that can win a lot of 1v1s just by being cheeky. I feel like that's how I like to describe his playstyle, just absolutely cheeky. Gets away with so much stuff in these games. But have you got a scoreline prediction that you want to throw out there?
I'm going to go with 6-1 this time. 6-1 to Swift. I don't think they'll manage 2. I think under no circumstances do we see a 7-2. I'm confident in that.
I think this time around we're going to see a 5-0.
Oh, you're going the complete opposite of me again.
Yeah, complete opposite. I mean, if you times 0 by 0, it's still 0, so technically it's not double, but it's opposite.
Nubby just got a cheeky bunny hop market gardener frag in the pre-game.
Oh, and maybe we'll see some of that in the game.
Him and Cars just shared a moment. They just stared at each other and taunted. They were both impressed by it. I just thought I'd share that. Here we are, into Metalworks. Map 2, Swift are leading with all 3 ETF2L points so far. Can Virtus.bro turn it around for Metalworks?
As we head into our first mid of the Metalworks, any percent speedrun for Team SVIFT. As Kuna now going to be making his way in towards mid, going to be sticking off Nasboy really well. Actually, tons of damage into that room. Tobbs actually finds the frag on towards Nasboy super early. Captain now getting pressure back by these scouts, mistaking that high ground, and they're just going to be escaping here. Tobbs is bombing forwards. Captain, what a rocket Tobbs! He takes him down eventually. Oh my god, that rocket!
He predicted a completely different trajectory, but I mean, Captain wow, that was a nice rocket from Tobbs. And they're running into second as well while these players haven't respawned. They're getting a lot of ground from it. Tobbs will eventually fall to Nubby, who is now going behind, and Slemnish cleans up DQZ as well. No soldiers on Metalworks second here. You've got to get out. They're running through the alley. Could get wrapped here, but it looks like Virtus.bro. Oh!
What a pipe from Kuna, just to slam Nubby into the dirt. And Slemnish also going down there on the aggression that was created there. So they're going to be bombing all the way through this alleyway now in towards Captain, who stood on the point. Just wants to take an infiltrate here, but Seeds only just pops out in time. Is going to have to flash to save his scout. This is getting a little bit messy now, but Cars is going to be standing there in Valley, calling for a Seed to come in now, and Lanza and Miss going to be bombing in with the assistance of Tobbs. Nasboy on the right-hand side shutter is just going to get completely locked out by Spam, and they're going to be able to take the second point, it looks like. So it looks like Virtus.bro taking the initiative.
Lanza just running into lobby, into as many players as he can find, and will get taken down. He won't mind too much though. Pushing out Blast on any map isn't too easy, but we know how much Swift like to try anyway. They're already putting pressure up on this main door area. Captain also flanking through the lower. He will bomb up now. Spots out Kuna. And Tobbs will in fact go down while the rest of the players just push out Shutter. That was perfect cohesion.
Oh, Seeds the Lanza! Oh, through main, he just wide peeks it and no one even checks him. And that's going to be Carl now beaming him up as the rest of the players try and get on top of him. But they're not going to find much mounts. And I think Lanza just wants to die now so he can get on Scout and get off Monkey Class. And that'll give them more aggression towards last with 100% Uber advantage, bum. And no cap time on second. There's so much of an advantage for Virtus.bro to find that first round.
Captain doing what captains do. He is wall bugging above the main door here. Carl has walked right past him and he sees his opportunity. Kind of whiffs the jump, but he'll get the force either way. Car's using off in lobby there. They'll chase down, see what they can get with it, but there's so many stickies on this shutter, it's going to be nothing. Captain's still behind. Seeds gets himself an overcharge advantage here, albeit a small one. But
Captain.
We've seen them push out with no advantage already. They'll definitely try this.
Yeah, Captain is in deep behind, doing his thing, making the plays for his team and making it happen so they don't lose any rounds first. And he got so much space for them there, and they've all moved into a passive position now as Captain did eventually go down in the back line. He's going to be up with his respawner soon, but Seeds building out of the Super, going to be up to 100%, but Cars sitting on 70% here, potential for a repush.
Yeah, and he will use out with his 30% ad. Cars is immediately dipped out of there. Lanza will be the one to fall. Cars now re-pushing with his own Uber, will use it off. Jay gets arrowed just in time to keep him alive, but Seeds and Slemnish, the more important frags, will go down. Jay still stuck in, will also fall. Nubby on the low ground fighting against Mist. He's going to get wiped out any second now. 1 HP left. And in fact, the first round looks like it could be going to Virtus.bro here. Tobbs bombing into last, and that's why only low gets directed by Tobbs. The respawns are here, but there's already cap time. Kuna sticking up the point, Slemnish onto it, but not long enough to block. Virtus.bro taking 1-0 advantage over Swift here. The underdogs coming out on top.
My prediction is already wrong. God damn it. Every single time, man. Just, oh god. Virtus.bro, they're coming out there. They played super well, actually, against all of the stuff that Swift had thrown at them. And it's going to be interesting to see how they take it into the next mid now, bump.
Yeah, once again. Both teams coming out to this mid. Kuna on the low ground. Nasboy falling back already, in fact. Kuna getting bombed straight away, though. Will get taken down. And now it's a 5v6, no demo man. Nubby gets taken down by DQZ for bombing a little bit too deep. And now DQZ with the rebomb. Tobbs also distracting, trying to go behind. They're just getting all this ground on middle. But Tobbs being cleaned up makes this a 4v5 once again. They're just going to elect to jump back, keep their medic alive, and keep it even for second.
I think that SVIFT really needs to take a leaf out of their own book and just get mega aggressive on them and just take those fights and just try and bully them. I feel like that worked a lot better on the Snake War when they started just playing with their balls, you know. Just being like, well, we could bomb and die, or we could just bomb and win.
Well, we've got our first proper even Uber stalemate of this game. We've got Ali getting pressured quite hard by Swift. See if anything gets shut down there. Tobbs not going to bomb it. It'll be Nubby, in fact, bombing forwards as a distraction for Captain to get behind. DQZ will fall to Jagan Pay, and then Captain and Lanza trade for each other's lives in lobby. So a 4v5 fight. We should be seeing a trade any second now to delay for these respawns. It will be Cars to use first and Seeds to use second, and in fact all these players just in the exact same place. It's a solo for Seeds though, and all of these frags are going the way of Jay in the lobby area.
It's just an absolute smash as they are now going to be barreling through this one on towards last. Sandwich walks through the doorway directly into Direct Rocket, and Nas does the same thing, and they both go down.
Lanza with a Swift 2k there on Swift will be running into second, see if he can claim any more frags to the pile. Jay goes down extremely low, will get killed just before Seeds can arrow him. Seeds getting caught as well, cannot run away with that scout down to speed him up. So all of Swift falling there, just Nubby on the respawn, trying to cap second from under their noses. He's high in the sky and will try and get the Market Gardener, but DQZ too quick on the draw with that one. Will stop Kuna from falling to the spade. Now they have a big advantage for mid and a player ad.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take mid and more. As long as they don't use, they could translate this into a last push, but knowing Seed's going to be building this whole time, and in fact, yeah, he is. He's just going to be building up the supercharge with Jay. So they should be able to get a hold of second here on the side of Virtus.bro. Maybe have to use their Uber, and his Captain's doing a funny again, and just getting in that spot above main. And it isn't going to get checked out here, but Cars are just bombing in with the Uber, it would appear. With Kuna, Jay is going to be fighting against him, but Kuna nearly gets dropped there as he went super deep. And it's going to be Captain still in the spot. Could go for a block. He has now dropped down. Going to be jumping over to the point, and he does get hurt there. Lanza hears it, and it looks like Captain's going to go down on the back line, and he does. And Seeds is coming up now with 90% Uber charge, but 2 players down.
Yeah, trying to take a 1v1 on the scout there, not ideal. Tom's bombing into last, by the way, does also go down. So now it's actually a 4v5, and Swift could try and get out of last on this one. They've already done it successfully on even numbers, but with the player ad, they'll be even more tempted. Nubby and Slemnish working the flank, but Jay gets dropped by the sticky trap. That's going to be the call to retreat, most likely for Swift, as they do get back to last. It's still 1-0 to Virtus.bro. We've got 10 minutes off the clock now.
Let's go, V-Bro! Let's go, V-Bro! Yeah. I would chant that if I was at Landed, honestly. Because this team, I love them to bits. They're great. They seem to be really showing these teams what's what, especially against the high caliber teams such as SVIFT. Even if they were just officials only, they're still smacking it out the park, you know what I mean? So they're going to be taking this lobby area now, and they could just cling on to second, just take another mid fight and just hold second the whole game, and then just win.
It's time for the trademarked Lanza feed. He's going to just barrel in there, die, and hopefully come up on an off class. We'll probably be seeing a bit of sniping from him soon enough, but Swift want to get some pressure from this. They want to at least poke and prod into second, because if you give Swift an inch, they will take a mile, but they weren't even given an inch. They're going to be all the way back to last, and as predicted, Lanza on the sniper.
Oh yeah, you're an oracle, clearly, predicting the Lanza's going to come on a sniper. But I reckon someone who's going to be happier than Lanza is Slemnish, playing the Texan Dwarf man. Just going to be running around on last, has managed to construct a level 3 sentry gun for his team. It's going to give Seeds a very, very defensive advantage when it comes to getting sniped from any angle that they could get him from, as he is stood in this little dip. And it is so hard as a sniper to get a pick when he's sat there.
Yeah, always nice to represent your home country by playing engineer.
Not sure if it's his state or anything, but we'll see.
No, it doesn't matter. The states are united, that's the entire point.
Yeah. They're all short and dumpy.
But yeah. Yeah, this is a very unfavourable position for a sniper, as you were saying. They can peek towards this bridge, but everyone who's worth a damn is in the low ground. In fact, they use the Uber here. There's a trade going on in lobby. Jay doesn't find anything though, just Tob standing strong will scare them back off to last, but Kuna elsewhere manages to find a way to die to Captain at that critical moment, and now there's definitely going to be a push out of last from Swift. Rookie mistake there for the auto to go down, and Jay just runs wild.
Oh my god, the bombs! Nasboy and Captain just barreling into the combo. Does find Cars there with that bomb. DQZ going to be retreating now, with Captain getting 2v1 on the point. Does get taken down eventually, but there's only 2 players left alive on the side of SVIFT here, and they could just send players directly to last, but they're not going to do that, as Nubby does find a frag there as well. Slemnish cleaning up missed, and they are going to find... Oh, Kuna actually kills Slemnish with a pipe? Somehow?
The spawns favour Cars here, as Lanza just barrels in. It's 3 shots Nubby. And there will be a refight on second now. Jay and Seeds versus Lanza and Cars. DQZ enters into the fight now that Lanza falls. We'll trade that out. And it's a 5v3 on second here. All the respawns coming in. Captain on the low ground finds his way onto Cars. It's 2 directs to take him down.
Oh god, missed craters as well on the floor. That's unfortunate, as they may have had a scrap of hope when it came to defending second here, but it's just going to be DQZ hiding in the corner with 100 HP, isn't going to find anything. Top's getting totally denied by Slemnish. Let's get taken down there, but we do see Kuna also bombing in. They're throwing bodies at this point now, bum. It's going to be Nasboy getting absolutely wrecked in a corner by DQZ, and Slemnish eventually comes back. Is he going to find... Oh, he gets crushed.
Oh, I do... I mean, there was way too many portions of that fight for me to analyse all of them, but there was a nice part there where DQZ was pretending to hide in the corner and then jumped away just so that the scouts would focus on him, and he tried to get Tobbs to bomb in from the low ground at the same time. But unfortunately that was sniffed out by Swift, as they do now use this small overcharge advantage in second. They pick up Kuna and Cars immediately. The 2 frags you really want. Tobbs also going down. Lanza in the forward spawn on the Putis has to block this second cap, but I doubt it's going to work out. He has 12 eyes looking at him. Sorry, 11. I forgot about the demo man. And now they are running into last. All guns blazing. 2 scouts on the point already, and that's the first round for Swift.
Yeah, these scouts are so coordinated. They just barrel in, go directly to the point. They don't care about anything, just cap it up immediately. There's going to be 1-1 on the scoreboard. Very, very nice job there from SVIFT to go coast to coast hold all of the last point that they needed and managed to make it all the way through as we're now making our way into the third mid now, Bum.
Yeah, once again, rolling out on this very slow rollout all the way to mid. Kuna gets there a lot faster, in fact. Will get the first sticky onto Nasboy, but
nice.
His team are a lot further behind than Nasboy's are, and Captain actually bombing forwards. Will get taken down by 2 soldiers, but Slenish will clean up with a trade frag onto one of them.
It's
Now
going to
be in with a huge bomb, sky high, lands on Tobbs, and they just trade damage with each other. In fact, Slenish chasing down the weak Tobbs will go down. Nubby with a rebomb onto the middle point.
The slowest mid-fight you've ever seen, as we do see them all get stuffed into the Seeds actually gets caught there by a pipe from Kuna, knocked into the corner. Jay's going to get cleaned up here as well. Oh no, Jay actually wins against Lanza, eventually goes down. There's an extra little frag on the side there, but Cars now 100% your advantage because Seeds did get stuffed into a corner.
Yeah, one of the rare times you'll see Seeds being the furthest forward member of his team, and he gets taken down at the end of that mid-fight. Captain hiding in lower here. Will get spotted out by DQZ quite promptly and manages to get all the way back out to second. That's where you practice your Tempest, fellas. Get on those rocket jump servers. Slenish will take down Mist with the full body shot from Shutter up there. So that will slow things down. Probably won't see a rush into last.
Do they know that they've not capped second? Do they know they've not capped second?
Well, DQZ's on it now.
There we go.
And will die to Slenish. They just take things one step at a time. I mean, you're losing players. That's probably a time to slow down, but they elect to go straight forward into lobby, and they get punished for that. Tobbs as well.
Slenish is just pooing all over them. He's just hitting every headshot.
Nubby on the low ground, in with the bomb. Cars uses off before he can even take the damage, and the trade will happen here on second point. Seeds has a slightly better Uber. Both teams have flashed, but looks like SVIFT will be the first one to lose a player as Nubby goes down. The repush now from all sides.
Well, the damage is so big. Kuna landed one big stick in the middle of all of them. They didn't actually find the cap, so all the forward spawners now coming out. And Mist is going to be barreling forwards. Intervals last. No sentry gun to worry about. Just Slemish on Sniper. Monkey Class ain't going to save you here, boys. You get slammed into the corner, and they're going to get the round. Oh! By no means they will get a 7-2 game.
Well, I mean, maybe they'll be the one with 7 rounds. I mean, if you told me that someone was going to beat SVIFT this season and I had to guess who, Virtus.bro would not be on the list. Wouldn't even be in the first 5 teams I named, but they are impressing here on Metalworks. And coming into the 4th mid, I don't know what to expect anymore.
I don't know anymore, but Kuna's going to be trying to stick you off that lower area just to deny some of this aggression, but the soldier bombs now come out. They're super passive position here coming out from Virtus.bro, and they are going to be trying to collapse on towards these players that are super far. Oh, nice rocket from Captain. That's why getting cleaned up by a long-range fight from Kuna there, but DQZ bombing in, gets pistol whipped down, and this should be an escape now coming out from the side of the blue team. Cars now actually getting bombed. Nice little surf there to just dodge it up onto the rock, and then he's going to be escaping through Valley, but this isn't the end of the chase. It looks like a Slemish and Jay are going to be running up through lower, but Cars is deep out of there, but it looks like the Lanza are going to be running forwards. Oh my god, he kills Slemish.
Not bad. That'll slow things down, and Cars actually does get the Uber before Seeds will. They haven't capped mid either, so this is perfect now. That chase was way too overzealous. They got all 4 players on it and didn't even find the frag they needed. Nubby hiding in lower, though, will have an opportunity that the others didn't. Gets that first rocket onto Cars. Cars will not pop, though. And now we are even Ubers on second.
Yeah, Cars there standing strong in the face of adversary, and he is going to be able to hold on to that Uber. But tons of damage in lobby already. Nas and Captain getting insanely low. And this could cause an opportunity here as they're getting arrowed up. They're going to get tons of room. And Nas now just going to be trying to stick it up the top right area, but they do play passive back towards the point just to get healed up as the blue team start rotating into Valley to take a bunch of room, looking for an Uber trade here on Lanza. But Captain's going to be bombing in, denying this flank from coming in. He's barely taken any damage. His trade has now come out here, and DQZ and Tobbs aren't going to find anything. Mist actually getting cleaned up by Jay as Jay finds another on Tobbs, and he's just going to be running through this house area. 2 picks for the side of SVIFT.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be much of a plan from Virtus.bro, and there is no need to be the ones engaging, trying to force a trade when you're going to have to use first, and you're already a round up. You might as well let that stalemate happen. It's so much lower risk than just barreling into mid without really any rhyme or reason, and now they're back on their last. They are punished for it, but we are in even overs again. Neither team has it though, so a dry push could come in. Nubby, in fact, sacking his captain with a bomb as well. They both sink the rockets into cars at the same time. No chance for that man. And now Seeds will just get back to second, retain this 100% advantage. Lanza up on the engineer. They need to slow this down as much as possible, as they're already coming forwards with only 4 players. They use into last. Nasboy bombing forwards, picks up Kuna. 2 scouts on the point. There's nothing to be done. Swift will tie things up at 2-2.
A little bit questionable there from the Blue Soldiers. Both of them have full HP, but neither of them were out on last to try and bomb towards the point to stop them from capping. And they just sort of ended up getting away for free where they could have had a chance, even though you're facing against an uber advantage. But hey-oh, it is what it is. It's 2-2 now. They've already secured more in this game than they thought they were going to secure. So, I mean, all for Virtus.bro, right?
Yeah, I mean, impressive either way. And if they can even take a point from this matchup, that would be incredible for them. As we are into the 5th mid, Kuna gets so low and immediately goes down. This is a lost mid already for Virtus.bro. They need to get all the way out, and they will listen to my advice. They can hear me. They're stream sniping.
Yeah, they are indeed just totally stream sniping. It's going to be Captain now bombing in towards the bridge. DQZ getting slammed into the dirt, but he's going to survive there with some nice arrows from Carr to keep him up. And it is going to be DQZ now bombing over towards this valley side area. They're going to be spamming against them while they're in valley to get a bunch of pressure down. But Nubby bombing up isn't going to find anything. DQZ finds the rocket and to take down Nubby and halt that aggression. And they are going to be able to clean second, it looks like. But Lanza now going forwards a little bit aggressive there.
Yeah, Tobbs with the counter-sack won't force Seeds either. So we're 5v5. Nubby has a slight respawn advantage. And he actually comes up on Soldier, but he's hanging around in the spawn, see if he wants to switch. He will change over to Sniper there. And meanwhile, on Virtus.bro, everything's normal. Everyone's on their own classes.
Alright. Nubby's going to hit a fatty. Mark my words.
Oh, don't be mean to Cars. He's not fat.
No. Look, get on the Nubby cam right now. Here we go. He's going to be peeking around this corner. Watch this. Round. Oh, go on. Go on. You know you can do it. I've got all my hopes and dreams. Now. All my hopes and dreams are pinned on this sniper hitting an insane shot.
Oh my god! Okay, Nubby dropping Cars with the headshot, throwing his life away in return. DQZ wants this force, he's not going to get it either. Swift are just full wiping here into second. Tobbs also falling for it. Slanish, the only one to die on their own team so far. Lanza also wants to die for this play. He's going to make it up onto second. He gets the first shot in onto Nubby. But, Nubby!
Oh
my god, the close range headshot as well. As if he didn't need to put icing on the cake. Like, he's just doing everything he can. There's the Uber in on last. Already, Jay will fall on the last point. Missed as well, going down. And this is the entire combo of Virtus.bro dead. Tobbs and Cars, the last ones to save it. Lanza on the respawn now. We'll try and 1v3 these players.
The body shot onto Cars as well, and the body shot onto Lanza finishes out this round. There's going to be 2-3.
5k for Nubby,
yeah,
why not?
Oh my god. I'm just on a little level, what can I say?
I wanna point out, our producer didn't say anything about the cheat feed or anything. That was a fully lucky predicted play.
That's incredible. Anyway, heading into our next mid fight, they're going to be a little bit demoralised after Nubby destroying them all, as it's they're getting totally sticking out here actually. So much room now for the side of SVIFT as they all barrel into the top left. And they're not just going to be stuck in a corner, and this might just be a free mid, as everyone missed actually getting piped down at long range. And DQZ now just going to go for a sack attempt now on towards Seeds. Finds one rocket, the Seeds of course not going to take those in 1,000 years.
Yeah, I mean, perfect surf all the way out, and another unfortunate mid for Virtus.bro as the pace of this game seems to be changing. Swift seem to really be getting into it, especially after those huge plays from their sniper Nubby there, and Captain will not slow down, gets himself onto Kuna, who always seems to be away from his team and just dying without his combo there to help him. The trade will eventually fizzle out here as Captain trying to re-bomb in. With no demo, this looks bad for Virtus.bro, but Tobbs is the one to save the day. Trading 2 frags for 1. Captain behind as well. Onto Cars. Everyone's just left Cars alone. Both his scouts run forwards to mid. Miss now battling Seeds. At least he gets that in return. And pause? Question mark?
It would appear to be a pause. Lots of players down on the side of SVIFT currently, opening up a lot of opportunity for Virtus.bro to come back into this game. Even though Cars is dead, they are going to get him on a respawner. It should be around even Ubers, but 7 minutes left on the clock-ish, so they should be able to potentially get another round. What do you think? Do you reckon it could be a draw, get a golden cap?
I hope so. Every part of me hopes so. Or a Virtus.bro win would be such a beautiful storyline with all the odds against them. I mean, these are Prem and Invite veterans, and of course, Nubby and Nasboy, not exactly veterans themselves, but they have been shown themselves to be the shining talents of the new generation, the Pugger generation of TF2. These guys are just really putting out the numbers these last few seasons. So if Virtus.bro straight from Div 1 would even be able to take a map, I would be incredibly impressed with them. And yeah, Cars will get an earlier spawn. They'll have a bit of an advantage. They'll definitely be getting mid here due to it being a 4v1 situation already. So if they can get that tiny Ubercharge advantage and they're confident enough to run it into second, and it works out, then this could definitely be a round.
Yeah, it could indeed, for sure. I mean, the stars could align, as we actually unpause here, the stars could align for the side of Virtus.bro, and they could make something happen. Unless, of course, Nubby just puts a complete stop to it by playing Sniper, of course, that's another thing that he can try and do. But he's going to be sitting pretty here in the valley area, going to be bombing all the way back towards his own alleyway, just to play a little bit defensive versus these blue players, as they have now managed to cap out mid, and Seeds and Cars are both going to be on respawners.
Yeah, both respawning at exactly the same time, so correction to my previous statement, this is going to be completely even Ubers on second, but with 7 minutes left, there's absolutely time for Virtus.bro to make some sort of play, try and tie this game up. I mean, it's really all to play for. This is the one opportunity they're going to have to make a colossal storyline against a team like this. I mean, they are just chilling so far back on mid, though. They really want nothing to do with this until they confirm they have their Uber. They really want to be absolutely certain before they walk into a devilish trap from one of these veterans of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough port of call here. I wonder how they're going to make this one happen. I feel like it's just going to be a sack through alleyway. That's pretty much the only way they can make it happen. Just clear out lobby, make sure there's no stickies, and then just sort of make a distraction play, and then DQZ bombs. And I feel like that's what they're going to be going for here, as he is now angling towards that alley area. But there are stickies currently on the high ground that could totally deny him, as Nubby actually calls for the pause there. The pause comes out, and now we are resuming, as it's going to be Seeds disconnecting.
Okay,
oh,
so
the stars have aligned!
this is unfortunate, but it looks like they are going to be polite and allow Seeds to build his Uber up. They're giving him the saws there, so he now has 100% Uber, and we've only wasted about 10 seconds off the clock, which would have been wasted in stalemate anyway. Very good job to everyone. Very sportsmanlike, and we resume where we left off with even Ubers on second.
Very fair. That's what we like to see in our esports. So as we do see Tobbs bombing in, does totally whip his jump there, unfortunately, on the wall, and gets totally cleaned up by Slemnish and dies. So that's going to be one pick, and now we're going to see the counter-sack potential come out from the side of SVIFT, or as they have been doing previously, straight up pushing into the enemy team. Nubby goes in for a shifty bomb, and he lands in behind Cars, finds one rocket, but gets cleaned up immediately. Cars holds onto it.
Yeah, thank God for that. Cars was looking so scared and into the eyes of Nubby there, completely alone, but eventually Nubby just gets shot in the back to clean him up. And now we should see a counter-sack pretty quickly, but Tobbs gonna be on Sniper. Nope, switching off to...
Yeah, he's spy checking, I think.
I see.
Just spy checking to see if the enemy team has a sniper. Of course, the spy, the special class that can tell you if the enemy team has a point-and-click Australian man who likes to kill people. So, yeah, just a little mechanic in the game if you didn't know about that one. But we have got the blue team just chilling out in lower once again, going to be looking to try and get a sack in. But I think time is of the essence. 4 minutes, make something happen, boys. DPZ going in with a bomb, super high in towards Seeds. Does get a decent amount of distance there with the bomb. But doesn't find anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, managed to avoid that trap that we see all these demo men putting up nowadays, right above Ali, on the only place that you can really bomb in from mid, so that sticky trap catches off a lot of flying soldiers, but in the end, doesn't even matter. Seeds just jumped over the rocket entirely, took 0 from that sack attempt. So we will see him respawning. We'll be going for another attempt, I suspect. 3 minutes left on the clock now. The time's really against Virtus.bro. If they want to prove themselves, they need to do it quickly, as they do. Looks like they're faking a push from lower, and DQZ is going to fail his bomb entirely. So who knows which one was the fake and which one was real.
Here is the time for the patented George Foreman sack, I believe. Oh, we are going for a double sack, actually. DQZ and Tobbs are in super... But the wrap play! They're wrapping in behind them. It's a total waste of time as they are bombing deep in behind. But they are going to be able to start setting up positions in towards second. But the chaos is too much for the side of Virtus.bro. They are now getting all cleaned up. And Cars goes down in alleyway. And it's going to be missed. Also getting taken up by a pipe from Nasboy. Couldn't get his caught and lower. DQZ going in for the redemption bomb. But nothing. That's going to be a wipe. Excellently coordinated play coming out from the side of SVIFT there.
2 minutes 30. It would take a miracle, but it is still possible. Lanza once again on Putis in the forward spawn, while the rest of his team going to play their ordinary classes, just try and slow this down. Seeds has a 60% advantage to get into second here. Kuna has a cheeky trap on Ali underneath those boxes there. We'll see if that catches anyone off. But now Seeds will be coming up to Uber any second. Captain's going to be the one to bomb forwards, make all the space. And now, is he watching that trap? It does get called out by the American Scouts duo just in time.
Lanza almost on the forward spawn on heavy just to defend against the aggression, and is totally stopping this cap.
He was into last though already.
Yeah, they're going in, and this is going to buy a lot of time for respawners, but Kuna gets caught. That's very unfortunate there. Cars is in fact actually out of spawn, but the bomb comes in from top. It does in fact find Seeds, and that's one of the picks that you're going to need, but they need to get to this point now, and Cars isn't going to be able to do it, and that's going to be 4-2, and it is now impossible for Virtus.bro to actually win this game. 1 minute 30 left on the clock, but an amazing game from Virtus.bro nonetheless.
Yeah, they gave us a storyline, they gave us the excitement, Nubby gave us the plays, and eventually they will seal in the 6 points of this ETF2L official as we expected, but not with the scoreline we expected by any means. Swift coming out on top this week, taking all 6 points home for their league table. And let's watch 1 minute of funny mid-fight, shall we?
Funny mid-fight incoming, ladies and gentlemen, as Nasboy gets taken down immediately. Kuna also gets double bombed by both soldiers, but Cars going to be retreating out into house already, as Frags are getting traded both ways. But it would appear there is going to be an even fight. Double scout versus double scout. It's going to be Seeds now, just building up that Uber charge there inside of house with Cars as well. And Mist is going to be taking a 1v2. Of course, Mist is going to lose that one. The two dominant scouts on the server really showing up, putting the dicks in his mouth and taking him down. Cars gets absolutely destroyed as well. And Kuna is next on the shopping list.
Yeah, I mean, they gave us a visual representation of what we were talking about so much in the pre-game. We had the 2 scouts versus the 2 scouts, and even with the NA ping, Slemnish and Jay are just a step above, as with the rest of Swift. Slemnish now hiding in lobby. We'll let DQZ just stroll past him.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the state of Team Fortress 2 in 2020, and GG's well played to both teams. They both GG out in the chat, and we've got teams now disconnecting. It was an insanely good game bump. We totally predicted a stomp, and Snake Quarter, yeah, sure, at moments it was a complete stomp, but this map, Metalworks, Virtus.bro I want to look out for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if this team sticks together for another season or 2 seasons, who knows what they'll manage to get done. They've already been outperforming in all of the officials we've seen from them so far, even making it incredibly close with Swift there, the far and away top team of the season, I'm sure most would agree. So that was one of the most exciting maps we've seen so far this season, I think, Lucky. And
totally agree.
does it show to you that Swift are definitely toppleable?
I think so. I think that with the right amount of effort put in, that this team would actually be slayable. I think they played a really good game though. Overall, SVIFT. They understood the position in the game state and stuff. They knew everything they needed to do, but in points, they were just getting caught out, by bombs and sacks and stuff, especially on mid fights. Their mid fights did end up being a bit rusty, and I think that was 90% of Seed's deaths were actually just straight up on mid fights. And if you do look at the mid fights on the logs, it was actually mainly the first two mid fights taken by blue team. It was the first and third mid fights taken by blue team. So it shows that they did have a significant chance in this game, and Cars and Seeds died in the equal amount of times.
Yeah. Cars and Seeds pretty much even on most fronts in the medic stats over here, but the one difference is this drop that Cars got. Not much for him to be blamed for, though, because that was just... Who would expect Nubby to go flying around that corner and hit that headshot? Apart from you, of course, because you predicted it somehow, but that was a real, game-changing moment in the game that just completely turned it on its head. We had a very even game, and suddenly all the momentum was in the hands of Swift thanks to that huge play from Nubby.
Yeah, one big shout out though has to be towards Lanza, managing to pick up 22 frags and top damaging on his team there. Did have a lot of off-classing going on as well. He was sniping and playing Pooters as well. Really putting the work in for his team, and Mist and Top's going to be following up Trumps with 14 frags each. But of course, on the side of SVIFT, top 2 scouts, 24 frags and 22 frags on those scouts. The total powerhouses of this team, it would appear, in these games. And it has to be said that SVIFT is a pretty scout-heavy team, but the soldiers make the dream work, and Nasboy as well, in there, just creating so much space for those scouts to wreak havoc in enemy teams in every game they play.
Yeah, although we do see quite even in terms of demo deaths on the logs, I think that the timing of the deaths, we saw Kuna a lot of times in trades not near enough to his medic, getting picked off very quickly in those, and just not having a demo versus the other team not having a soldier or something, that made it a lot easier for Swift to get out of last in some situations, push into second in some situations. There was just a lot of brute force being thrown Kuna's way, and then, once those stickies are down, you've got so many more entrances to play with, and just once there's 6 top players of the game flooding in at you, there's not much you can do after that, so...
Yeah. Overall, this game it just shows that SVIFT are a strong team. I feel like at the end of the day, this is what this proves, that SVIFT understand what they need to do, and that they will be a huge contender. They are first seed after all. But I think that's all from... I don't see anyone in the Interview Me channel. So I assume we'll just go to shoutouts. So Bum, any shouts from you, bud?
Shoutouts to Nubby for doing that. And shoutout to Seeds. Quick think of all the other players. Nasboy, Captain, Jay and Slemnish. And did I forget anyone? No. Good.
You got
Shout out to Cars, Puna, DQZ, Tobbs, Mist, and Lanza, all for putting on an excellent show tonight. Well done, everybody.
Well done. Rahmed, any shouts from you? I'll say it for you. He said, shouts for casting the game, guys. Thank you. He's so wholesome. Shouts to Rahmed for producing today, the silent one in the team, always doing most of the work for all of us and making the dream work. Shouts to you both for being alongside me as well. Oh, sorry, what?
We have Seeds in Interview Me channel.
Oh my god. He's disrupted the flow of everything.
We were just going to sign off. Seeds, you're lucky to even be getting this. We had signed off, but now we are letting you in. Can you undeafen him for us, Rahmed, or... Ah, looks like I can. Perfect. No, oh, you've remuted him. There we go. Okay, perfect. Welcome, Seeds. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Wow, it's the duo once again.
The
Welcome
duo.
back.
Yay!
Yeah, how did it feel in these games? Just
Honestly,
Honestly, it was fine.
I'm sorry. It was pretty tense. Like, they played a lot better than I think our team expected them to, but it was fun. You know, like, I feel like we had a bit of an ego thing. You know, we were like, surely we're gonna roll these guys, and then we kind of didn't, and then we tilted a bit. Like, there were a few kind of funny times. But I think it was a really good game, and I think the reason why Metalworks specifically was so rough is because we're a Pug main team, and Nubby and Naz don't play Metalworks because it's not like a regular Pug map, and yeah, we're a funny no scrim team, and we didn't scrim Metalworks.
Yeah, I suppose learning a map is half the battle on one of these funny new maps that we haven't seen much in Europe. Were your Americans kind of showing you the ropes on the fly, teaching you how to play Metalworks mid-game?
I'm pretty comfy on Metalworks. It's one of the maps that I like more. It's just that I think we just had a bit of difficulty with our pro-stuber positioning and stuff. We fixed our mids mid-game and we were kind of rolling them on mid. But the kind of... we trade and then stuff will go wrong. But we're fixing it. And I think we're happy that the game was, like, interesting.
Has it scared you into maybe scrimming a bit more, or are you
Never
committed?
would I ever. I mean, we say we don't scrim, but the funny thing is, like, it just means that we don't play with Jay and Slem and scrims. Like, Naz, Nubby, Captain, and me all pug regularly, and Naz regularly makes mixes that involve the four of us. So, apart from our scouts, we are kind of scrimming.
Definitely getting enough practice in for it to not be an excuse anymore then.
Yeah. But I'm gonna keep using it. Forget that. When no scrim team, hi.
Yeah, keep using that as the excuse where you lost, nearly lost on Metalworks there. So it's a great idea.
We're 4-2, we no lose.
We honestly thought as well, when we said about the predictions, we predicted 5-0s on both maps. We didn't predict them to do that well. But
we predicted 5-0s on both maps.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be said though. Virtus.bro are sort of doing that to a lot of teams though. They seem to be coming in and winning more rounds than people give them credit for. And I feel like they deserve a lot more respect in Prem than people see them fit.
Do you see a bright future for them?
Yeah, like they're really solid. I will say though that the ETF to whitelist in terms of the lock and load is a joke, and that weapon should not be whitelisted.
I did say in the middle of the stream,
the huntsman for demo.
I said that at one point Kuna hit an air shot, and I said it doesn't count because he's using the lock and load.
Literally, it's just like
he
did 50% of his damage on Metalworks with funny pipes.
And Nasboy hit him with the use stickies.
Yeah, there was a situation where he could have stickied up the shutter as you were trying to push out of lobby there, and he was just throwing as many lock and load pipes at it as he could instead. Didn't seem to work out too badly. It is a really good weapon.
He's a funny gun.
Is indeed. But for you, Seeds, who do you think is one of the most formidable players? Who is the MVP in this game on the side of Virtus.bro?
On Virtus.bro, I would say Lanza, really. Like, I felt like he was playing really good Pocket Scout in terms of just making the space, taking the Ubers, playing well around cars. I felt his impact in the game.
Yeah, he did actually shine on the logs as well, as one thing we pointed out, and I totally agree with you. Has to be said, I think Lanza is probably my MVP out of all of this. I think Cars played next in game as well. I always think Cars plays next in game. He's such a good medic, and probably one of the standout players inside Virtus.bro. And Seeds, look, I'm not going to rub your ego anymore by calling you a good medic. You already know. I actually called you the best medic in the world at the start of the cast.
I wasn't listening. I listen now. I'm happy again.
Well, you go and give us some viewers and watch the cast back then. That'd be great.
Yeah, okay.
You're okay.
Anyway, do that.
Any shouts from you, Seeds, anyway, before we shoot out? And Ribs, any shouts from you since you're here as well?
Shout out to Seeds, whose birthday is on the 21st.
Put it in the calendar, everyone. 21st.
Mark it up on the calendars, ladies and gentlemen.
If any of you guys want to give him something, add me.
Ribs.
How about you shout out his address? We can all send him postcards.
We streamed for 2 days and there were no VODs for it because we took funny brownies, but I doxed myself multiple times in both days, and I was so glad that I forgot to turn VODs on for it. Like, there was a point where our delivery was coming, and I was like, it's this address, really loudly, and she just gave me this look like, why did you do that?
You fool.
You fool. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna throw a few shout outs out there as well before we had Seeds bust in for this interview. Shout outs to Rahmed, shout outs to you, Bum, shout outs to Seeds for a good game, shout outs to both teams, shout outs to AJ and the Thompson brothers, and to Cars for being my homies. And that's all from me, Bum. Anything else you want to shoot out there?
Nope, absolutely not.
Fantastic.
Remember to stay tuned to TFTV. Throughout the week, we've got many upcoming Prem games, hopefully just as exciting as this one has been, and we'll have plenty of people to take you through the action as it happens. Love you guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.